Okay, Guy and Kate update.
Yes.
So I started editing the video for our next segment, and it seemed a bit repetitious because it was almost like Groundhog Day over and over again. So what we decided to do is scrap all the videos that we had for the last 3 weeks, except for a few that we're going to toss over the top of us talking.
Yes.
So you don't have 10 minutes of talking heads. And give you an update of what's happened in the last 3 weeks. It's been a real up and down adventure, and we've had a bit of drama involved, but we're gonna go through it. Right now we're in Almeria, Spain, and it's just Kay and I on board. And we're making this little clip because we've had a crew change again. A couple days ago, Luca came to us and announced that he was going home because of a family emergency. So both Luca and Victorio have decided to leave and to not do the crossing with us, which has led to us having to find new crew to finish our trip.
Yeah.
As you can imagine, it's a bit disruptive to have to change crew like this. We have to find a captain and at least one crew to go with us because we want 4 people to do the crossing.
Yeah.
And it's obviously going to take a couple days to do that. So we're in a bit of a bind. We have lined up what we think is a really good captain, and if things keep aligning, we'll have him here in 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, by Monday.
And we're still looking for another crew member.
So we were left with finding new crew, and that was an intense and emotional, stressful, probably just the most panicked I probably felt. Like, what are we doing? How are we going to get across without enough crew?
Several of the reasons that we need more crew is it's really hard for 2 people to sail across the Atlantic by themselves. It's not impossible, but it's not something that we wanted to do. And the second reason is if we don't have more professional crew on our boat crossing the Atlantic, our insurance company wouldn't insure our boat for the transit.
That was the other missing piece, so we had to work with our insurance company, with the crew that we found, and yeah, it was a pretty intense full-time job for many days.
Yeah. First you have to find them, then you have to interview them, make sure you're compatible, make sure their skills are what they need to be. You have to submit all this information to the insurance company, who then has to verify they are who they are and check that they have the skills that they require. And then you have to negotiate with the crew for the deal that you arrange with them. And then you have to arrange for them to get from where they are to the boat. And that took quite a long time for us. And truthfully, it was a bit painful at times.
Mm-hmm.
What happened is we kept bouncing down the Spanish coast as we had the new crew finally on board. Everything was going very well.
Made our way to Gibraltar.
Eventually, we kept bouncing our way down the coast a day or 2 at a time because of the weather. It was headwind the entire way and really bad at times. And we finally got into Gibraltar, and then we had another 10 days delay because of weather.
Yeah.
Finally, we decided we had a weather window to get out of Gibraltar, and we made a run for it. And I decided it was finally time for me to try my hand fishing.
Oh, yeah.
And I threw a line out.
How big is it, do you think? I like the needle.
And so then I had to process the fish, and the sea started picking up. And it took me, 40 minutes to fillet the tuna. And in that time, sitting back by the sugar scoop, I was facing the wrong way, face down in fish, and occasional wafting diesel exhaust.
Worst case scenario.
And I got really seasick, and unfortunately, it didn't leave. And I was seasick for 4 days. And the first time I've been seasick since coming to Europe.
Yeah, we tried to get as far south as we could before what we knew was some high winds coming. And it took longer than we anticipated, so we did end up being caught out in these high winds and pretty rough seas.
Off the coast of Africa.
Yes, close up towards Morocco. And but we did well, and the boat handled well, and it was sort of this great...
We had to heave to for
we heaved
24
to for
hours.
Almost 24 hours.
It was really rough and windy.
Yes, we tried to beat the storm, and we ended up getting caught in it. We didn't get as far south as we needed to be. So there we were, knowing these winds were coming. They did arrive, and it was like 30 knots of sustained wind with gusts of up to 40, maybe even a couple over. Brian says everything's going to be just fine.
All is good. All is good at sea on Christmas Day.
We need to make up our own Christmas carol for today. We did ring the bell, though. I mean, the sea rang our bell.
The sea rang the bell.
Yeah. Crazy. Okay, it's going to be good. And just trying to sail or motor through all of that was just nuts. I mean, the boat was just bouncing around like crazy, and it felt like the boat was going to, at times, fall apart, although it wasn't.
Christmas Day. I am so seasick, I can't even think straight. Ginger's just pissed because he can't go out and run around. Kay can describe herself. I haven't eaten in 4 days. I've been so sick. The weather's just been terrible.
Ginger's upset, so Kay's trying to keep her happy. You did do your watches, though, which was amazing.
I did my watches, but man, was I sick. Actually, we spent Christmas Day.
Hove 2.
Hove 2. I think that's how you say it.
I think.
Christmas Day was Hove 2.
Yeah. So it was quite the dramatic, epic 3 days, or 2 days through the storm.
This is the Christmas Day Hove 2.
And then literally the next day, there was no wind.
No wind. Sitting dead in the sea.
Running, we were trying to conserve fuel, so again, we just had to sit and wait for the wind to pick up so we could continue on.
Yeah, so we motored one engine really slow, but just enough to keep us moving. Because we didn't have fuel, we couldn't just motor all the way to the nearest of the Canary Islands.
The sun is rising, and that is the African coast behind us. We had to come close to the coast to try to pick up some wind that is forecast probably late this morning, early afternoon. And we just passed a bunch of fishing boats, and it's been a super mellow morning out in dodging fishing vessels. It's a beautiful sunrise, clear skies, hoping that means lots of wind. And I'm saying I really, really want a lot of wind, but maybe not 40 knots like we experienced 3 days ago.
We're bouncing the boat around so much that I think the fuel tank got all mixed up. So you can imagine, there's sludge and algae and all kinds of stuff living in the diesel. And it got sloshed around so much that it clogged one of the fuel filters too.
Yeah, so you changed that.
So we had one of our engines choke out, and we had to change that while we were underway.
Yep, yeah. So there was a lot going on.
Yeah, there was a lot going on.
But it was a great practice run for our transatlantic crossing, and everyone felt that it was good practice because we did a bunch of reefing on the sails. So
we were bringing the mainsail down, and one of the little grommet things grabbed the
grommet things.
There's a metal piece of hardware that's like a jammer that goes on the edge of your sail. So anyway, it's just this little metal hook. It grabbed the lazy jack and yanked it down.
Yeah.
And since we have Dyneema, it's 3mm Dyneema, so it's pretty small, but it was strong enough that it didn't break. Instead, the pulley at the top of the mast broke and yanked the whole lazy jack down.
Yeah.
So there's more drama.
But you guys have great skills, and Max and Brian were out there tying everything down.
Yeah.
He was out there tying stuff down. So it was impressive, and it was a good practice run.
Yeah.
And
we'd sail when we could, going 3 knots, 2 and 3 knots, and motored when we had to. And we finally got to the closest island.
yeah, we're now at Tenerife, lands at a marina. We made it into the marina with 1/8 of a tank of gas, because we did have a couple, 2.5 days of really good wind, and then the last, I would say, 15 hours, again, we motored with one engine down to like 1200 RPM, roughly, and it was fine, but geez, just watching that gauge was already stressful enough, but we made it. Now we hope we just have smooth sailing, because it looks amazing for the next several days to do the crossing.
So we're gonna leave later today and trying to go to another of the Canary Islands.
Las Palmas, and
Las
then
Palmas, our jumping off point for actually crossing.
Yeah. Continue with some work, a little bit of work left, and we'll be ready to go finally.
What boat's this?
It's the Ice Bear
From?
59 North.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yes.
Shout out to Andy.
Yay.
Thanks for the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, so
all right.
Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope this video finds you well, and I hope you've had a good holiday season and a happy new year.
Yes, we wish you all the best in 2022. We all could sure use some really wonderful things happening.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are, but we want extra helping.
Sorry for the delay in the videos, but it's for your own best interest that you didn't watch us fight storms and bounce down the Spanish coast for 3 videos. It just wouldn't have made good YouTube watching. So hopefully we'll have some more fun stuff here in the future.
Yeah. All right, guys, thank you so much for everything.
Thanks for watching, spending time with us, and we'll try and do some, maybe 2 more videos in the Canaries, and then there'll be a gap while we cross the Atlantic.
And we'll put up our link to our satellite tracker for our Iridium Go. There'll be a website that if you want to, you can follow us there. And we'll just put this up in the notes in the video.
There's little blog entries in the tracker
we'll
too.
Keep everyone updated.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Take it easy. Happy New Year.
See you.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.
How many?